What up, Tube? So what are we going to do today? We are going to be testing one of my favorite wheel cleaners from Adams. Their iron remover style wheel cleaner versus this new wheel cleaner, triple action foam from Eagle One. This is also an iron remover. Removes brake dust specifically for black and plastic coat wheels, but I know it'll work on just about everything. If it can work on plastic dip, it sure as heck can work on powder coat and everything else, right? So anyways, we're going to compare the two. I've used Adams for a long time. I love it. Nothing wrong with it. But there's a cost difference. This goes for, I believe, $12 to $15. And the Eagle One goes for about $5 at Walmart, $5.50. So we're going to use the Tundra's black wheels as the test because they're very dirty. Drove through some rain just recently, last week. Some heavy thunderstorming, hailing, all that jazz here in South Texas over the last week. So we're going to test it out on a very dirty wheel. And as you can see, she is dirty. Give you an example there. There's a lot of dirt and grime on her. Alright, so we'll get our stuff ready and come back. Okay, so we're going to do the wheel cleaner from Adams first. Again, both of these are iron removers. You got about a third of a bottle left. Sun's coming out. It's in the morning. We are going to rinse the wheel off first, just using regular pressure washer. No, sorry, not a pressure washer, just a regular hose with a sprayer. Okay, I'm going to go through and just give it a rinse. Let it wring out. Equipment we're using: lug nut brush and a couple wheel woolies. Okay, so we're going to go through and agitate. Get this guy first and have her ready. This procedure is not difficult. We're just going to spray it down. Now, the thing I like about the Adams wheel cleaner is how foamy it is. You can get it on the caliper, on the rotor. Make sure your wheel is cool. The brakes, rotors are not just been stopped and are warm from traveling around town. Okay, the truck is sat overnight, so there's not a lot, there's no heat at all on it. Okay, you want to let it sit. I let it sit for about a minute or so. So we'll let it sit, let it do its thing. It's going to change color a little bit, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, so we've let it sit for about a minute or so. All right, so it's still foamy. There's not a lot of brake dust on the actual wheel, so you're not seeing a lot of change of color. There was a lot of dirt, but let's reach in there, and you'll see that. That's purple. So the brake dust on the rotor, you can tell, has changed color. Okay? To that purplish color. That's what happens when the iron remover basically has a chemical reaction with the brake dust. It turns purple. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through here and agitate these small areas with the lug nut brush. Y'all that watch these type of videos seen this 1,000 times, I'm sure. I'm going to go around the spokes here. And just kind of work everything in. We're going to take this wheel woolly guy. I just like the word woolly. And we're going to do the insides of these spokes. This is the boring part, right, guys? And then we're going to take this fluffy dude and kind of get in all the other spots. Now, a lot of people use brushes. Not a problem. You can use a brush. I like to hit it with as light of an abrasive as possible. I know these wheels were cleaned about 2 weeks ago. They're not horrible. We're going to spray them down, and then we're going to get a clean rag and see how dirty they still are. So we're just spraying them down, regular hose water pressure. Something just about everybody's got, a hose with a sprayer. You can pressure wash. If they're heavily soiled, I do suggest pressure washing. Makes it go a lot smoother. Let me go get that towel. She's rinsed off. We're going to go ahead and grab a very clean microfiber. And we're going to see how clean we got this wheel by drying it off. It's pretty clean. Now, I've used this wheel cleaner plenty of times in the past, and there you go. It got it, I would say, 90% clean. You know, let's run it around the outside. You see that? Adams did a great job. I've used it many times. I knew what it was going to do. Let's hit that other wheel. Alright, same thing here. Now, on the bottle of the Eagle One, it doesn't say to spray the wheel down. But I'm going to do the same thing I did with the Adams to keep everything constant. We're going to hose the wheel down, and we're going to go grab the Eagle One. Okay, here it is, Eagle One. Let's see how great it does, or doesn't. We'll spray the wheel down. Okay, one thing I can see right away is that the Adams is a lot thicker and foamier. Now, does that say anything? I'm not sure. I'm not a chemist. I'm just a guy that likes to detail and likes to pass what little knowledge we have on to others. Anyhow, as you can see, and I'm spraying this pretty heavily here, the Eagle One isn't as foamy or thick as the Adams. Now, you can see it does react fairly quick. Now, I haven't paused this. I haven't waited the minute like I did before coming back. This is just right away. And right away, you can see it's purple on the rotor where all that brake dust was. Okay, so we know that stuff's working. Okay? So, let's give it a minute, or about another 30 seconds, and I'll be right back. Alright, so, we are going to do the blue little guy first. Actually, I did that wrong. We're going to do the lug nut brush first, just like we did before. We'll get all these little guys. We get that guy. So we're going to go through and agitate. You see, as you agitate, it does get a little foamier. Okay. But again, foam doesn't equal cleaning always. Many all-purpose cleaners don't foam. So, not going to judge yet. We're going to do this with this guy just like we did on the other wheel. And then we'll go back over with the foamier or woolly. I mean, if you don't like the word woolly, and sorry, it just hit the camera. I don't know, I like the word woolly. And you can see there's some purple on here. I apologize for my phone. Alright. Okay. All done. We took care of it. It's a beautiful morning. I know, now I'm just wasting time, right? Let's go ahead and hose this down. You see, as we agitated, more of that purple showed up with this one. This is the passenger side wheel. We did the Adams wheel, or sorry, the Adams side on the driver's side front wheel. This is the passenger side front. And again, regular hose, regular nozzle. And that's it. Make sure all the soap's out of the little holes there. Clean microfiber. We'll run it around this way. Wet but not dirty. Wet but not dirty. Wet but not dirty. So the question is, which one's better? Which one do we use? Do we use the Adams or the Eagle One? Well, the Adams, performance-wise, worked great. Obviously, we've used this before. It was kind of our go-to because of our experience with it. It foams up and it's really thick. And it stays on the wheel a little better. That you visually can see. Now the Eagle One is also worked very well to get the wheel clean. It worked very well to get the iron off. You saw how much purple came off of that. It was not as thick. It was not, visually did not stay on the wheel as long. But when you agitated, you saw that it was still there. And it really worked a lot of the iron off of it based on how it reacted. That being said, y'all make up your own decisions. See what you really like the best. Maybe it's cost. Again, Adams wheel cleaner is priced around $12 to $15 a bottle. You have to order it online. Eagle One, I found it at 3 different Walmarts at $5 a bottle, $5.50 a bottle. It's a little bit more as far as quantity. I believe it's 23 ounces versus 16 ounces. So you get a little more for about a third of the price. If that matters, maybe that's the way to go. You can be more sparingly with it. Honestly, I like both. Probably going to be adding Eagle One to the arsenal. Based on the cost, it's not a bad tool. Y'all, I hope you have a great weekend and a great rest of the week. Enjoy your holiday weekend. Give the like, give the subscribe, give suggestions. God bless. Have a great week.